Yes,
Because he's speaking the mind
okay.
of people.
Ọgụ nwere onwe ka anyị na-anọ
lekwa Chineke lekwa Chineke enwere ihe na-emenụ enwe ihe na-emenụ we are here now we dey here ohe Biafra udo
Yes, sir.
Yes, unu jisi ike n'ihe unu na-eme na anyị ama ada mba.
Yes,
Because he's speaking the mind
okay.
of people.
Yes.
Ọgụ nwere onwe ka anyị na-anọ
lekwa Chineke lekwa Chineke enwere ihe na-emenụ enwe ihe na-emenụ we are here now we dey here ohe Biafra udo lelo onye isi ụmụ Biafra lelo onye isi odogwu ohe Biafra ụmụ Chineke ọbata obi odogwu adịgo ka ọ ga-adị
Yes, sir.
Yes, unu jisi ike n'ihe unu na-eme na anyị ama ada mba.
Yes,
Because he's speaking the mind
okay. Yes.
Ọgụ nwere onwe ka anyị na-anọ
lekwa Chineke lekwa Chineke enwere ihe na-emenụ enwe ihe na-emenụ we are here now we dey here ohe Biafra udo
Yes, sir.
Yes, unu jisi ike n'ihe unu na-eme na anyị ama ada mba.
Yes,
Because he's speaking the mind
okay.
of people.
Ọgụ nwere onwe ka anyị na-anọ
lekwa Chineke lekwa Chineke enwere ihe na-emenụ enwe ihe na-emenụ we are here now we dey here ohe Biafra udo lelo onye isi ụmụ Biafra lelo onye isi odogwu ohe Biafra ụmụ Chineke ọbata obi odogwu adịgo ka ọ ga-adị
Yes, sir.
Yes, unu jisi ike n'ihe unu na-eme na anyị ama ada mba.
Yes,
Because he's speaking the mind
okay. Yes.
Widespread celebration erupted in Finland after an experienced Finnish judge named Ali Vatin gave a public legal analysis of Simon Ekpa's case, suggesting that Simon Ekpa may be found not guilty in the ongoing trial. Judge Ali Vatin explained the Finnish district court system, emphasizing that cases are presided over by 3 judges who deliberate collectively and vote to reach a verdict, which is unlike the Nigerian system where one judge gives the ruling. If Simon Ekpa is found guilty, the consequences may include imprisonment, fines, community service, or probation, but not necessarily the 6 years demanded by the prosecution. Also, Simon Ekpa has the right to appeal any verdict in a higher court. The judge stated that the trial could last up to 4 months, potentially stretching into late summer, August-September 2025, due to the complexity and volume of evidence involved. Simon Ekpa faces 3 charges. 1. Public incitement to commit crimes with terrorist intent. 2. Terrorism financing and illegal money collection. And 3. Spreading terrorist propaganda, with all evidence dated from August 2021 to November 2024. Over 1,183 days of Simon Ekpa's digital communications, including videos, tweets, and WhatsApp messages, have been collected by the prosecution and will be presented in court as evidence. Simon Ekpa's background as a Finnish politician, having served as a local government councillor for the National Coalition Party, was seen as both an advantage and a disadvantage in the court process. Advantages of Simon Ekpa's political career include public status, legal and political knowledge, support from followers and media, and the ability to claim political persecution rather than criminal behavior. Disadvantages include higher public expectations, greater scrutiny, inability to plead ignorance of laws, and being seen as a dangerous influencer due to his wide reach and influence. In summary, Judge Ali Vatin concluded that Simon Ekpa has more legal advantages than disadvantages in this case, making it likely that the verdict will favor him, hence the early jubilation among his supporters in Finland. Simon Ekpa is being tried at the Pyramid District Court in Finland for his social media posts and online activities made between August 23, 2021 and November 18, 2024. He made over 2,168 posts during this period, but the judge highlighted that none of those posts incited actions within Finnish territory. The Finnish judge stated that Simon Ekpa has not committed any crime in Finland, apart from a tax-related issue. His record with Finnish authorities is otherwise clean, which heavily favors him in court. The judge emphasized that Nigerian media reports are not reliable in Finnish courts, stating that anything coming from Nigerian outlets such as Vanguard newspaper, Arise Television, Channels Television and others cannot be taken as credible evidence in court proceedings. The prosecuting lawyer admitted that Nigerian media cannot be trusted, which weakened the charges based on information from Nigerian sources. This shift means the prosecution must depend solely on independently verified Finnish or international evidence. All evidence used in court must be verified, meaning that if Nigeria claims there were violent outcomes from Simon Ekpa's broadcasts, they must present first-hand, verifiable documentation, not just news articles from Nigeria. The Finnish court will base its judgment only on Simon Ekpa's own posts, live streams, and data like IP logs, and not on alleged consequences reported in Nigeria. Finnish legal standards require strong evidence, not speculation or politically influenced reports. Simon Ekpa has a 90% chance of acquittal, according to the judge, because there is no direct link between his actions and violence in Finland, and the court will not rely on potentially false reports from Nigerian media. The only serious charge Simon Ekpa faces is aggravated tax fraud, to which he has already pleaded guilty. He admitted to evading taxes amounting to $30,000, which could lead to up to 7 years in prison under Finnish law. Aggravated tax fraud is a significant offence in Finland, as shown by past cases involving real estate executives who were sentenced to prison for similar offences. This remains the only major legal hurdle for Simon Ekpa in the ongoing case. Simon Ekpa's trial will continue on Tuesday, June 17, 2025, where detailed evidence will be presented, documents will be examined, and further cross-examinations will take place. The outcome could hinge on how well Simon Ekpa and his legal team handle the tax fraud charge. The streets of Finland, especially in areas where Nigerian communities live, and where supporters of the Biafran independence movement reside, have recently witnessed a wave of celebration, excitement, and emotional relief. This sudden burst of jubilation came shortly after a landmark development in the highly publicized court case of a Nigerian-born Finnish politician and separatist spokesperson named Simon Njoku Ekpa. A respected Finnish judge named Ali Vatin, who has years of experience in Finland's legal system, made a very important public legal commentary that appears to change the tide of the entire trial. His words carried a sense of weight, clarity, and authority that echoed across not just Finland, but also across many African communities watching the case closely. Judge Ali Vatin did not issue a formal verdict, but his breakdown of the legal situation, the structure of the Finnish district court, and the specific charges facing Simon Njoku Ekpa gave a glimpse into what many are now interpreting as a strong possibility of acquittal. As soon as this legal analysis was made public, celebrations began erupting among Simon Njoku Ekpa's supporters, not just because of the words themselves, but because they came from a man who understands the inner workings of Finland's legal system, and who carefully explained why Simon Njoku Ekpa is likely not guilty under Finnish law. Simon Njoku Ekpa is not just any man. He is a former local government councillor in Finland, a legal practitioner, and a widely known advocate for the indigenous people of Biafra, a pro-Biafran group pushing for the independence of southeastern Nigeria. He is a controversial figure, especially in Nigeria, where he is often portrayed in the media as a separatist agitator who uses his social media platforms to incite rebellion, violence, and division. But in Finland, where the legal system is more structured around evidence, process, and human rights, his case is being viewed through a different lens. Judge Ali Vatin started his analysis by explaining how the Finnish court system works. In Finland, criminal cases like the one Simon Njoku Ekpa is facing are not decided by a single judge as they are in Nigeria. Instead, 3 judges preside over the matter. These judges work together to analyze all pieces of evidence and then vote to reach a verdict. This system, Judge Ali Vatin noted, allows for a more balanced outcome because no one person has the final say. It removes the possibility of bias from a single judge and encourages a collective decision based on verified evidence and legal interpretation. Simon Njoku Ekpa is facing 3 main charges. The first is public incitement to commit crimes with terrorist intent. The second charge is financing terrorism and engaging in unauthorized fundraising. The third charge is related to spreading terrorist propaganda. All these charges are tied to his digital activities, particularly on platforms like YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and WhatsApp. The charges are based on a range of content he allegedly shared from August 2021 to November 2024. According to the Finnish prosecution, they have gathered more than 1,183 days' worth of digital content that includes Simon Njoku Ekpa's voice, video live streams, tweets, and private messages. Over 2,368 pieces of online posts have been collected and will be presented as evidence. These materials are being carefully reviewed to determine whether they meet the threshold of criminal activity under Finnish law. However, Judge Ali Vatin pointed out a critical issue that will likely work in Simon Njoku Ekpa's favor. He noted that none of these posts appear to have incited any crime within Finland itself. This is a major distinction because Finland, like many other countries in Europe, does not convict someone for inciting or influencing violence in another country unless there is a direct and legally proven connection between the accused's actions and the specific crimes that followed. In other words, unless the prosecution can directly tie Simon Nyoku Ekpa's statements to acts of violence or terrorism and verify those connections with reliable, internationally recognized evidence, then the charges cannot be sustained under Finnish law. Another strong point made by Judge Ali Vatin was that Finnish courts do not recognize or rely on media reports from Nigerian outlets such as Vanguard newspaper, Arise Television, Channels Television, or others. He explained that the Finnish judiciary considers those sources unreliable for courtroom proceedings. The judge said that in order to make a legal argument, the prosecution must bring verified evidence, such as police reports, eyewitness testimonies, hospital records, or direct evidence from the location of the alleged crime. Simply quoting a news article or showing footage from Nigerian television will not be enough. This is a major blow to the prosecution because a significant part of their case was based on claims and reports that originated from the Nigerian media space. Interestingly, even the Finnish prosecuting attorney handling the case has acknowledged this limitation. The prosecutor reportedly admitted that Nigerian media sources are not considered credible in the Finnish court system. This admission weakens the case significantly and strengthens the argument made by Simon Nyoku Ekpa's defense team. They are now focusing entirely on what Simon Nyoku Ekpa said, did, or promoted within Finnish territory, or what impact his actions had on people living in Finland. Judge Ali Vatin was very clear in explaining that Finnish law requires actual evidence of harm within Finnish borders or direct facilitation of crimes from Finnish soil. If a person posts a video on YouTube from Finland, the content itself must be shown to have directly caused a crime or contributed to it for it to be classified as criminal. Mere expression of controversial political opinions, even if they are considered inflammatory in other countries, does not automatically qualify as terrorism or incitement in Finland. It is within this context that the judge suggested that Simon Nyoku Ekpa has a 90% chance of being acquitted. This conclusion was not based on emotion or political sympathy, but on an objective review of the structure of Finnish law, the nature of the charges, the kind of evidence available, and the constitutional protections given to people who engage in political discourse. There is, however, one serious legal challenge that Simon Nyoku Ekpa will have to face. Among all the charges leveled against him, only one stands out as credible and legally admissible in Finland: aggravated tax fraud. Simon Nyoku Ekpa has already admitted guilt in this matter. He has confessed that he failed to pay taxes amounting to over 30,000 euros. Under Finnish law, tax evasion is a criminal offence, and aggravated tax fraud, in particular, is treated very seriously. The penalty can be up to 7 years in prison, depending on the circumstances. Judge Ali Vatin referenced past examples where real estate company executives and business owners in Finland were sentenced to lengthy jail terms for similar tax-related offences. This shows that even though Simon Nyoku Ekpa might escape the terrorism-related charges, the tax fraud case is real, serious, and likely to result in some kind of punishment. Whether it will be a fine, probation, or imprisonment will depend on how Simon Nyoku Ekpa and his legal team handle the upcoming court sessions. His trial continues at the Pyramid District Court in Finland, a court known for handling high-profile and complex legal matters. This court has become the stage where Simon Nyoku Ekpa's future will be decided. The next hearing is scheduled for Tuesday, June 17, 2025. On that day, more detailed evidence will be presented. This includes document analysis, cross-examinations of both prosecution and defense witnesses, expert testimony, and technical reviews of Simon Ekpa's online communication logs, especially his internet protocol addresses, timestamps, and the contents of his financial transactions. The Finnish legal system is also very particular about privacy and rights, so everything being presented in court is done within the rules of data protection, transparency, and due process. Simon Ekpa's digital footprint, what he posted, when he posted it, and how it was interpreted, will be dissected in great detail. His supporters argue that Simon Ekpa is being politically persecuted for expressing the frustrations of many Nigerians, especially those from the southeastern region who feel marginalized. His critics, on the other hand, say that his actions have caused real damage in Nigeria, including violence, unrest, and fear. But the Finnish court is not there to solve Nigeria's political problems. It is only concerned with whether a crime was committed under Finnish law and whether there is enough legal evidence to convict. What makes Simon Ekpa's case unique is the international nature of the accusations and the way modern technology has created complex legal questions. Can a man be held responsible for what happens in another country based on what he says online from the safety of a different jurisdiction? Can someone be convicted of terrorism even if no actual attack happened in the country where the case is being tried? These are questions the Finnish court is carefully considering, and the outcome of this case may set legal precedents not just in Finland, but across Europe. For now, the mood among Simon Ekpa's supporters remains one of joy, relief, and cautious optimism. The moment Judge Ali Vatan publicly broke down the legal pathway and hinted at a likely acquittal, many felt as though a heavy weight had been lifted. Streets in some Finnish cities where Nigerian communities live saw peaceful marches, flags being waved, and music being played. Messages of support poured in from across the world, from activists, political commentators, and even some religious leaders who see Simon Ekpa as a voice for justice and human rights. In contrast, Nigerian government officials have remained mostly silent about the Finnish judge's statement. There is visible frustration among some political figures in Nigeria who believe that Simon Ekpa should be brought to justice for allegedly fueling tension back home. But because Finland operates under its own laws and protects individual rights very strongly, it will not extradite Simon Ekpa or base its court decisions on foreign political pressure. The case of Simon Ekpa continues to unfold, but for now, the narrative has taken a turn in his favor. His name has become a symbol of resistance for some, a source of controversy for others, but above all, a test case for how modern legal systems deal with digital activism, transnational influence, and political freedom in the digital age. The world is watching, and for the people celebrating in Finland, there is hope that justice will be based on facts, not fear. As the days stretch on, and the Finnish summer warms the streets of Helsinki, Lahti and other cities where Simon Ekpa's supporters live and gather, the emotions surrounding his ongoing trial continue to evolve. What began as a tense and uncertain courtroom proceeding has transformed into a widespread movement of solidarity, political education, and cultural assertion. More than just a legal matter, Simon Ekpa's case has become a mirror reflecting the complex relationship between Europe and Africa, between digital speech and political activism, between freedom and accountability. Following the public legal commentary made by Judge Ali Vatan, the excitement among Simon Ekpa's followers only deepened. Judge Ali Vatan's voice, though calm and scholarly, delivered a form of reassurance that many had long waited to hear. He reminded the public that Finnish law was not built to serve foreign governments or to silence political speech. Instead, it was a system designed to uphold human rights, guarantee due process, and protect all persons regardless of race, religion, or political belief. This is the end of our news update. Please click the icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it. I will see you again in my next update. Enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye for now.
In the southeast, even his lawyer came out and said that Ekpa is a good guy, that the killing in Nigeria still continues. And we've seen what people are saying about Simon Ekpa freedom. What is your take as a guy?
Yeah, glory be to God. I remember humble say one and the only Biafran evangelist. Remember, before now, I told you people one certain time when Steve Bruce, one of the dictator, dictated and he did a research concerning Simon Ekpa, Malcolm Bruce, thereabout. Then that was last year when this issue started, when he was arrested. The ending of the last year, he said it. That was in the month of December. He said in this case that he have cross-examined it and he discovered that Simon Ekpa is going to win anywhere in the court. Remember, he said it before today that Alexander Levis become the new lawyer of Simon Ekpa. And the same man repeated the same thing that Simon Ekpa was saying. So he himself now has said the same thing. And then this is the third lawyer. Are you getting it? This can Gumeres. He cross-examined the previous ones. And what happened? He said, let's go there. I am with you. You know, in court, I don't know if you are following it up. He has about 19 sons following him to defend him, volunteers to defend him. And you can see what happened today. There's Simon Ekpa for the very first time, ever since this court case started, him smiling. You know, the other, they made that May 13th. You understand? As at that time, when you look at it, you see the way he was behaving like somebody that they put inside coma. They are just bringing out of ice freeze. But today, he appeared differently. He came out warmly, smiling, to the point you see people, all those lovers, the Biafrans in Finnish government was like taking pictures, smiling with him, taking pictures together with him. And when I look at the call, when I look at everything, I discovered that finally, the hero Mahuno is on a smiling face with a smiling character. That is definitely, and finally, like I've said before, definitely that he's going to win. And finally today, you see what happened. Nigeria with their delegates, the US with their delegates, has finally, with a Pitamba 50 evidence, they have finally fallen out. They have been totally crushed. They have been totally demolished. Remember the other time they have about 3 DOS. One saying name na Carlo Isaac. The other one saying name na Pastor Udochi. The other one name na Ngokede Williams. So when they came, and at the end of the day, cross-examination was given to them, and they fall. And the next day of the court, the two that